Hello, Maths with Etiam class students. Today we are starting our first lesson. So let's go straight to the classroom, okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you. So I think you are wondering, what is this starter about? So the starter is just leading out to today's lesson. And today we'll be talking about whole numbers. Okay? Whole numbers. That is our topic for today. Whole numbers. Our topic for today. Is that okay? I believe you can all see these color pencils. I believe each and every one of you can see it. Okay. So I want you to help me to count these color pencils. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is that okay? Let's count it again. Carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the color pencils are 6. Okay? 6 color pencils. We have 6 color pencils. Here is another one. These are pens. Okay, pens. So you will help me to count them as well. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pens. Sorry. 4 pens. Okay. Now, what is a whole number? What is a whole number? When we talk about a whole numbers are used to count complete objects. Is that okay? When you look at this marker, it is a whole marker on its own. It is a marker in its completeness. Okay? So it is a whole object. An object that is whole, that is full, okay? It has not been divided. It has not been broken into any smaller parts. It is a whole object. So we use whole numbers to count complete objects. Whole numbers are used to count complete objects. That is the definition of whole numbers. They are used to count complete objects. Whole numbers are used to count complete objects. Let's say it again. Whole numbers are used to count complete objects. Okay. One thing that I want you to note is that whole numbers begin with zero. Okay, zero is a whole number. That is why you realize that the starter that I sang during the beginning of the class, I started with zero. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. A whole number starts with zero. Okay. So examples of whole numbers. The first whole number is zero. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. All numbers begin with zero and they are up to infinity. They do not have an end. Okay, you can keep counting hundreds, thousands, millions, and so on. So these three dots means it continues up to infinity. Is that okay? And also you realize that there is no fraction among the examples that are here. There is no fraction, there is no decimal number, and there is no negative number. So when we are talking about whole numbers, they do not have a fraction, they do not have a decimal number, they do not have a negative value. Okay, they are complete numbers on their own. Okay, they are complete, they are whole. Yes, they are a number that is complete on their own. They have not been divided into other smaller parts, or so they are just a complete numbers on their own. That is why we use whole numbers to count complete objects. Like the way we counted the pens and the color pencils, they are whole objects. So we need to use whole numbers to count complete objects. Okay. Okay, fine. So now we are going to look at more examples of whole numbers. I hope the definition of the whole number is clear to all of us. Whole numbers are used to count complete objects. Okay, so when you want to count a book, because a book is a complete object, we use whole numbers to count it. When we are counting what else? A bag. When we are counting table and chairs in the class, we use whole numbers to count them. So let's look at other examples of whole numbers. So with the explanation I have given, let's use the explanation as a guide to identify whole numbers in some sets of numbers. So the first one, we have 2, 4.5. We have 0, and then we have -8. This is the set of numbers that we are to identify the whole numbers. Okay, we can do that by just underlining the whole numbers. So I said earlier on that whole numbers do not contain negative values, fractions, and decimal values. So whenever you see a negative value, a fraction, or a decimal value, just bypass it because they are not examples of whole numbers. So let's look at the first number. This is 2, positive number 2. So it is a whole number. We just underline it. 4.5, because of the decimal point over here, it has disqualified this number. So it is not a whole number. This is 0. I said earlier on that whole numbers begin with 0. So 0 is a whole number. So we will underline it neatly. This is -8. I said earlier on that whole numbers do not contain negative values. So since this 8 is carrying a negative sign, we will leave it. I hope that is okay. Let's look at the second example. 14, 28, 3/4, and minus 9. 14, 28, 3/4 of a fraction, and minus 9. We are identifying whole numbers. Is that okay? So let's try and identify some of them. Why? 14 is on its own. It doesn't have a negative value or decimal value attached to it. Okay, so we can underline it as a whole number. 28 is on its own. It's a whole thing on its own. So we can underline this one too. 3/4. This is a fraction. Okay. 3 parts of 4, a fraction that is divided into 4, 3 parts of it. No, we don't want a fraction. We are talking about whole number. So we cannot underline this one. This is -9, a negative number, and it's not part of a whole number. So we cannot underline it. So the only numbers we can underline is 14 and 28 because they meet all the definition of whole numbers. So in a simple term, whole numbers are used to count complete objects, okay? And they begin with 0. When you are counting a whole number, you begin with 0, okay? 0 is the first whole number. Whole number do not have a fraction. It does not have a negative value. It does not have a decimal value as well. So today is our first lesson, and we are just keeping it short. Okay, we learned about whole numbers. What are the things that make a number whole? What are the things to look out for to identify that this is not a whole number? This is a whole number. We just studied that as well. Okay, so I will give you two examples to solve on your own. Okay, two examples to solve on your own. When we meet in class again, we'll go over that one before we move on to another lesson. So, example one. Identify the whole numbers. -15, 72, 20.3, 20.3, and then 58. This is the first one. The second one. A half. 33. 0 minus 11. 4/9. So these are the two examples that I want you to do on your own. Identify the whole numbers. solve them on your own so that when we meet in class again, we can identify it together before we move to the next lesson. Kindly find time to solve these two examples on your own so that you can recollect all that we have learned today. Today we just started our first lesson and it's about whole numbers. And we identify that whole numbers are used to count complete objects. And whole numbers begins with zero. Zero is a whole number. A whole number do not have negative values. A whole number do not have fractions. A whole number do not have decimal values. So that is all for today. If this video is helpful to you, I want you to like the video, share it with your friends so that the next time that we'll be doing the next topic about whole number, you enjoy it the more. Subscribe to my page, subscribe to my channel, Maths with Etienne. Maths with Etienne. Go to Facebook page, look for Maths with Etienne and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that anytime I post a new video, you will see it and we will learn together. Give you the step-by-step guide in learning mathematics. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in class some other day.